Hey, guys. So, you convinced me. All of you voted for a hormones class tonight. So, wanted to go ahead and just do it. I'm really excited to talk to you about hormones. I've been teaching a lot on this recently. I think a lot of people are really wanting to get their hormones in check because we're meant to not function the way that a lot of us function. If you've seen any of my posts recently, you've seen where I've shared about just kind of the negative effects of having a unhealthy endocrine system. We're talking cyclical migraines, skin issues, fertility issues, major cramping, major pain with your cycles, irregular cycles, heavy bleeding, fatigue, just a lot of different side effects of endocrine issues. And so I kind of want to just touch on that tonight and help you guys see the value of taking care of your endocrine system, supporting your endocrine system, and just having a healthy endocrine system, okay, and healthy hormones. So let's jump into it. I want to kind of start with my story, how I got started into this kind of natural lifestyle, this oily lifestyle, all the things. So I would say all the way up until about 5 years ago, being proactive with my health was not even a thing that crossed my mind. I assumed I was healthy-ish, like I just thought I was, and if there's anything I needed to do, it would be to eat better, maybe. But I used all the candles, I used all the bleach and the Windex and the cheap shampoos, the Bath & Body Works soaps and lotions, like all that. When I was sick, I went straight to our medicine cabinet and grabbed the NyQuil and the Tylenol and ibuprofen and all the things. Honestly, I struggled with headaches 3 to 4 days a week, and I was popping ibuprofen every single time. And to me, all of that was normal because that's what I grew up with. That's what I grew up knowing. That's what I was taught was normal. And looking back now, knowing what I know now, and what I did then, I realized that the way that I approached my health was either in a reactive state. So I was either reacting to my health, or I was actually causing damage to my health based on the types of things I was exposing myself to. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But moving on, between my 2 pregnancies, between Madeline and Ethan, I was kind of starting to explore more natural options in parenting. And I just started making small changes. So after a few really positive experiences with Young Living Oil specifically, I jumped in. And 2 of the ways that I actually have seen major benefits are with hormones as well as emotions. And my first wow moment with Young Living was Joy essential oil. I was struggling with postpartum depression, and it really helped me on those hard days. I won't say that it sat here and healed me of depression, but it did really, really help me on those days where I couldn't get out of bed and I needed extra support. It was everything I needed, and I put it on my wrists and I smelled it and I put it in my diffuser and I was just covered in joy. And it really helped me. So over the last year and a half or so, I've just not only been more intentional about reducing to the damage to my endocrine system, but actually starting to heal it. I have dealt with hormone struggles for years and for over a decade. And I believe that once we actually start understanding how our bodies work and how they're supposed to function and what it means to have a healthy body, we can actually start making changes to experience that in our lives. So tonight I'm really going to enjoy talking to you about hormones and kind of how you can recognize when your body's out of sorts, make changes to bring it back into balance. And I do want to tell you, if you joined a couple nights ago when I taught this with my girl Majesty, this is going to be a lot of that same info, but you are welcome to stick around. You're welcome to tag friends. You're welcome to share it. You're welcome to ask questions. It's going to be pretty fun night. So first things first, let's talk about where the function all begins. The manager per se of our metabolic function for our body is the hypothalamus. Okay. It is responsible for our body temperature, our hunger, our thirst, our fatigue, sleep, and what we're talking about tonight is hormones. So it's also responsible for that. So that's kind of where it starts, is the hypothalamus. Let's just start there. Okay. The way that your body communicates to your hypothalamus is through your senses. So touch, taste, vision, sound, and smell, okay? The hypothalamus communicates to your endocrine system and your hormones through the bloodstream. So it specifically communicates to the pituitary gland and tells it, hey, you need to tell your other glands in your body to secrete these hormones because this is the response that I'm receiving from the body. So as your body tells the hypothalamus what's going on, what's wrong with it, the hypothalamus tells the pituitary gland, hey, take care of this with your people. So the way I like to visualize it is if the hypothalamus is the manager, the pituitary gland is the assistant manager, and then all these other glands that we're going to talk about are kind of like employees, okay? So manager's hypothalamus, who receives all of the signals and tells the pituitary gland what to do. The pituitary gland, which is the assistant manager, tells everyone else what to do. And it essentially senses based on what the hypothalamus says, what hormones are needed throughout the body. And it tells different organs and glands what they need to do to regulate their function. So the pituitary gland like secretes hormones that stimulate the ovaries, the testes, the kidneys, the adrenal glands. They tell the body to produce uterine contractions during childbirth, which I'm wearing my birth shirt. Like your mammary glands for breastfeeding, it helps regulating your monthly cycle. And so if your pituitary gland is out of sorts, it can affect literally your entire body. It can lead to infertility. It can lead to hormone imbalance, chronic fatigue, migraines, blood pressure issues, low sex drive, adrenal insufficiency, weight issues, like so many things because it's in charge of so many parts of your body. So again, pituitary gland is the assistant manager. One of the employees that it tells what to do is the thyroid gland. So your thyroid is like right here behind your neck. And since the pituitary gland is that master gland, that assistant manager, it tells the thyroid gland to secrete the hormone thyroxine. So thyroxine is responsible for metabolism in your body. So the thyroid controls how your body's cells use energy from food. Metabolism, right? Among other things, your metabolism affects your body temperature. It affects your heartbeat. It affects how well you burn calories. So if you don't have enough of that thyroid issue, stuff, your body processes are going to slow down. So fatigue is a huge side effect of thyroid issues. Joint and muscle pain or weakness is another sign. Major depression, mental illness, cramps, aches, abnormal cycles. All of those can be side effects of a thyroid not functioning properly, okay? So that's the thyroid gland. Another gland that's kind of like the employee of the pituitary gland, that the pituitary gland tells it what to do, is the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands secrete the hormone adrenaline. So we kind of all have heard about adrenaline. That's what gets the energy in your body to kind of just like get up and go. It's the fight or flight hormone, right? This is what regulates heart rate. It regulates gastrointestinal tract. It regulates the blood pressure, sweating, etc. Okay? It's also responsible for creating the hormone cortisol, which is nicknamed the stress hormone. So this cortisol is released while you're under stress. And so understand elevated cortisol levels can harm your ligaments and bones. It can harm like your immune system. It can lead to addiction, depression, anxiety, malnutrition, blood pressure issues, heart problems. So think about it. Think when you're stressed, your body feels sore, your bones are sore, you tend to get sick more often, right? Like if you're in a high level of stress, that's when people tend to go towards addictive tendencies, or they fall into depression or anxiety or malnutrition. They're not eating well. So think of how all of that happens typically when you're under a lot of stress. Well, that's because that elevated cortisol levels does that to your body. So yes, it's bad. So that's the adrenal glands. If those are not functioning properly, if they're not, doing the right work, if your cortisol levels are too elevated, those are the side effects you're going to experience. The next part I want to talk about that the pituitary gland kind of is in charge of is estrogen and progesterone. Okay, so this is a big one. A lot of people hear estrogen and progesterone more than the others because it's like a huge part of the reproductive system. So let's break it down. So the pituitary gland, again, assistant manager, releases what we know as the FSH, or the follicle stimulating hormone, as well as LH, or the luteinizing hormone, okay? So these two hormones are essential for normal reproductive function. These hormones promote ovulation and stimulate the secretion of estrogen and progesterone. So it goes pituitary gland, FSH and LH, and then those are responsible for telling the estrogen and progesterone levels what they're supposed to be like, okay? So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about this. So first is progesterone. And I generally want to say for majority of women, especially in the U.S., we have an excess of estrogen and a deficiency in progesterone. Majority of women do. And so when talking about progesterone, understand that progesterone is needed to get pregnant and to stay pregnant, okay? If your progesterone is too low, the ovaries will not release an egg, or the egg will not attach to the uterus, okay? Progesterone is necessary for all women, including those after menopause. A lot of people think, oh, it's fine, like after menopause I can't have a baby. Well, progesterone actually affects a lot of parts of the body, including the nervous system and how it transmits signals to the brain. It can affect memory and cognition, mood. It can increase sexual pleasure. It can assist in reproduction for those who aren't menopause. So there's a lot of ways that progesterone affects the body. So it's important for everybody to have that. And also keep in mind, especially for us mamas, like oftentimes after we have a baby, our progesterone levels dip and they get really low. And those progesterone levels being low can lead to baby blues, postpartum depression, low milk supply. And so it's just really important to make sure your progesterone levels are at a healthy level, okay? The next thing is, sorry, I just got a message. The next thing is estrogen. So we just talked about progesterone. Estrogen is the hormone that's responsible for feminizing women's bodies. So this is what prepares the uterus for pregnancy, maintains your skin, your blood vessels, your bones, your memory, your fat storage, water retention, all those things, okay? And when it's elevated, when your estrogen is elevated, it essentially exaggerates its effects on your body. It can lead to like craving sweets, causing migraines. It can actually lead to breast cancer. So majority of breast cancers are, they grow with excess estrogen and they need estrogen to grow. So when you have excess, it just like multiplies it really bad. It can lead to insomnia, low libido, a depressed thyroid. It can promote anxiety, and it can store extra fat in the body. So that all happens when you have an excess of estrogen. So how does the body get excess estrogen? I'm glad you asked. Overexposure to what's called xenoestrogens in our food and in our environment is what causes our body to have excess estrogen. So food additives and preservatives, hormones that are fed to animals that we eat, weed killers, cosmetics, fragrances, detergents, birth control, and so many day-to-day products have xenoestrogen in them that make our estrogen levels skyrocket. Xenoestrogens can cause tumors, as well as prevent progesterone from attaching to your cells properly, which again negatively impacts the reproductive system. So it's really important to avoid xenoestrogens. Do your best to cut things out that are xenoestrogens, okay? So eat cleaner food, stay away from pesticides, switch your products, check your ingredients, okay? It's really important to do that. It's because there's the problems that are associated with what's typical, right? That low progesterone and that excess estrogen, that estrogen dominance, mood swings, weepiness, cyclical migraines, low libido, anxiety, uterine fibroids, bloating, PCOS, vaginal infections, uterine cancer, candida, heavy bleeding, sugar craving, sleep issues, infertility, digestive problems. Like all of these things can be like led back to having low progesterone and having estrogen dominance. And so again, so important if you're having these issues to realize that the root of it might be low progesterone and estrogen dominance, okay? So what I like to talk about is how to use these things, essential oils, for hormonal balance, okay? It's really important to understand that essential oils are homeostatic, which means that they bring balance to the body. This is a crucial difference between essential oils and pharmaceuticals. I am not equating essential oils to pharmaceuticals. They are not the same. I'm actually telling you that they are different. Oils do not force change on the body. They simply promote a balanced and healthful state. Or pharmaceuticals have like an intention and a plan to say, here's what's wrong, let's do the opposite. Essential oils are saying, let's see what's happening in your body and make it balance. So are you in excess? Okay, let's bring it down. Are you deficient? Well, let's bring it up. Let's create balance in your body and homeostasis in your body, because that's how your body is intended to function. But it also does it naturally with plants instead of forcing your body to react a certain way with medications. Usually when you take these kind of pharmaceuticals and medications, it is only covering the symptoms or adjusting just the way that you respond to things versus getting your body into a healthful, healed state, okay? So some essential oils evoke a hormone-like response in the body, again, that brings balance to the hormone needing to be brought balance, depending on what you need at the time. And so one of the oils serums that I recommend the most is this one right here. It's called Progessence Plus. It is a bioidentical progesterone, and it's derived from wild yams. And it also has some other essential oils in there. This is just a must for every woman, again, because so many in our world are progesterone deficient and estrogen dominant. This helps to bring that all in balance. This helps especially with people with pituitary damage. Not only does it help with your progesterone levels, but when you balance your progesterone levels, it helps bring your estrogen in balance too. It kind of is like the leader for making sure that estrogen comes back into balance too. So it's good to keep this on hand. Some benefits of using this oil: better mood, increased libido, regulated cycles, usually lighter bleeding, increased energy, weight management, better digestive function. Those are all things that you typically can see while you're using this, because again, it's bringing those hormones into balance. And I personally have seen so many women have amazing testimonies from Progessence Plus. So I'm talking about like regulated cycles, less bleeding, PCOS symptoms decrease, people struggling with infertility being able to get pregnant. And I want to pause and say, I'm not saying use this oil and you're going to get pregnant. I'm saying people have said that when they started balancing their hormones, using things like this and other things, they have been able to get their body into a place that it's healed and able to bring a baby into the world, okay? People no longer getting cyclical migraines, having better moods, having no more PMS symptoms. Like, these are my legitimate friends with legitimate testimonies. And so it's really amazing to know that this actually has blessed so many women, okay? A few things to note about Pro Plus. It's not for men, okay? So don't let your man swipe it on his forearms, okay? It also should not be used if you're on birth control. I'm not going to talk much on this, but the reality is women's bodies are not designed to be on birth control. Our body is designed to birth babies. So anytime that you alter the way that your body is naturally made to function with birth control, it can damage your entire endocrine system. And if you want to talk about other options for birth control, feel free to message me. But I would highly recommend look into the negative effects of birth control and figure out another way, because there's no way that you're going to be able to balance your hormones if you are using something that's altering your hormones. It's just not going to happen. Again, that's the difference between essential oils and pharmaceuticals, is that pharmaceuticals have an intent to force your body in a certain direction, and essential oils do not. So that's all I'm going to say about birth control. I think there's a lot to learn about that. If you are on it, I highly recommend reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you about it some more, but just understand, if you're on birth control, I don't recommend using Progessence Plus. And also something else to consider is, for some, not all, but for some, there can be a little bit of an adjustment period with Pro Plus, because it is adjusting your hormones. And so you might notice some big changes for a short period of time before you start seeing the results that you're looking for. I personally experienced that, but it is something to do for the long run, because it's worth it to get your hormones in balance, okay? So there's that. So that's a little bit about balancing, but I kind of want to give you the rundown of what I say is my top recommendations for kind of getting now that we know all this, to getting your body back in balance. My first recommendation, my number one recommendation, is to get cleaner products in your home. Stop exposing yourself to xenoestrogens, because you can buy all the oils and you can use all the things, but if you're continuing to put those things in and on your body, you're just creating a battle with your body, because you're not going to be able to heal it while you're damaging it still, okay? It's like you're putting a Band-Aid on this side of the wound, but you're stabbing yourself on this side. Like, it's not going to work. And so you need to first cut out products that are damaging your endocrine system. And I want to, I did this the other day on my IG stories, but I'm going to do it again. If we run through an average day of a woman, right, just to be general average day of a woman, you get up, roll out of bed, go to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, right? So what's in your toothpaste? Is there dyes in their toothpaste? Is there fluoride in your toothpaste? Is there, preservatives and stuff in your toothpaste? Okay, well, there's some toxic exposure right there. What about you go jump in the shower? You wash your hair with some shampoo and conditioner. You wash your body with some body wash. Okay, what ingredients are in there? Are there fragrances in there? Are there dyes in there? Are there sulfates or parabens or phthalates or I don't know, SLS, things like that. Are those things in there? What about when you get out of the shower, do you wash your face? Or in the shower, either way. You wash your face. What's in your face wash? Same thing. Is there, chemicals in there? Are there fragrances in there? What about your moisturizer? You put your moisturizer on, and then you put your makeup on, and your hairspray and your styling gel or whatever, and then you get dressed. And think about, you wash your clothes in fragrance and whatever chemicals are in laundry detergent, and then that's sitting on your open pores all day long, from morning to night, and through the night. You are wearing clothes that are drenched in fragrance, that are seeping into your pores, into your bloodstream all day long, okay? Well, let's just say you get dressed with that. Then you go have breakfast. Well, what foods are you eating? Do they have added hormones? Do they have food dye? Do they have added sugars and preservatives and things like that? And I'm not sitting here saying you have to eat perfect or be perfect. I'm saying make small changes, and it will make a big difference, okay? After breakfast, keep in mind when you're eating breakfast, you're eating off of a plate that you washed in your dishwasher probably, or in your sink, with either dye-filled, fragrance-filled soaps or dish detergent. I know my old dish detergent used to have fragrance in it. I didn't even realize that. And it's like, I'm literally eating off of a plate that has fragrance in it. And keep in mind, the word fragrance can be a word that hides up to 3,000, sometimes more, 3,000 chemicals are hidden behind the word fragrance. And so you don't know what that actually is, and it's on your plate. Ooh, okay. So anyways, we eat breakfast, we leave, we go to work, we go outside, and we're exposed to all these environmental toxins, right? And then we go to work, and in the wall is like a plug-in air freshener. All right, next to us is someone who's wearing really strong perfume. We have hand sanitizer and, Lysol wipes and things happening all around us, especially right now. Then we get home. Maybe we light a candle because we want to sit down, relax, chill a little bit. We eat dinner. Again, what's in our food? What kind of things are in our food that's affecting our body? We, wash our face again before bed, go to bed, etc., etc. We start the day again, day after day after day, after week, after month, after year. It gets a lot when it happens so often. And again, this is not once in a while exposure. I've talked all day about wanting to dye my hair, okay? Dyeing my hair is not non-toxic, guys. I know dyeing my hair is toxic. I know every once in a while when I get a pedicure or a manicure, it's not clean, it's toxic. But that's once in a while. I don't do that all the time. But when I wake up in the morning and use all of those things every single day, that is something called bioaccumulation, where it just starts to accumulate over time. And the effects that it has on your body continue to happen day after day, over time after time. And you might not see the effects of it right now, but over time you may. Over time you might notice that your cycle starts getting irregular, or your cramps get worse, or you're starting to get these cyclical migraines, or like me, before I started using healthier products, I was having 3 to 4 headaches a week, and I was taking ibuprofen all the time. Now I get a headache maybe once every 3 to 4 months, and it's for a day, and then it's over. And usually it's because I've been exposed to something like this, where it's fragrance or toxins, that it just kind of hits me and it causes me to have a headache. Anyway, so it's really important to make those changes in our day-to-day lives, so we're not flooding our body with xenoestrogens for really consistent day-to-day time. All right. And again, this, when we stop that continual exposure, that's when we're going to be able to start healing our bodies, and not only stopping that exposure for ourselves, but allow us to start implementing new things. So obviously I love Young Living. You all probably know that. These products are top-notch. They're clean. They've really helped me not only live a healthier lifestyle on my own, but just help me be more empowered and educated in general when it comes to health and wellness overall. So I personally order from Young Living every month. I want to do that so we get the extra perks. We get store credit back. We get free products every month. And we just do it because we choose to get the clean products in our home. So the cool thing about Young Living, if you didn't know, it is not just an essential oil company. It is 100% about promoting a clean lifestyle. So we're talking, I get my soaps, my personal care products, my laundry detergent, my dish soap, baby products, kids products, makeup, CBD, supplements, literally everything. It's all plant-based. It's super, super, super highly tested. It's very thoroughly tested. And ultimately, it's ultra clean and ultra safe. And so it makes that switch to a cleaner lifestyle, and especially to Young Living, really, really, really easy. So we can choose to just start getting rid of products that are filled with xenoestrogens, fragrance, parabens, phthalates, okay, to products that Young Living provides us that are derived from plants. They go through rigorous testing, and again, they're safe, right? And we have found that Young Living has truly helped us live a life of health, but also with educating us on the importance of cleaner living, as well as the community and the resources that come with Young Living. That makes a huge impact in and of itself. So, okay, all let's say. Step 1, use cleaner products, okay? The second thing you can do is if you're not a member with Young Living already, just do it. Like, that's just my number 2 advice, okay? And I'd love to have you join the lifestyle with us, with our team. I currently lead over 600 members. That is loaded with community, with resources and education, and just a ton of support to help you with that process of, you know, your journey to a healthier lifestyle and cleaner lifestyle. But specifically, like we're talking about tonight, to balance hormones. So if you're someone who's struggling with balanced hormones, the beauty of this lifestyle and this business and this community is the community. You have people to walk your journey with you and to help you find what works for you and what's going to help you in your health journey. So non-members, the best way to jump into this lifestyle with us is a premium starter kit. There's a few different options for you to join with, but my number 1 recommendation is the premium starter kit, which is this one right here, this little beauty, as well as that's one of the diffusers. Another diffuser is the Desert Mist. The reason I recommend that one is because it has so many options on how to, like, for different oils to use for different things. It meets a lot of needs. It's also the most valuable. So it's over $400 worth of stuff, but it's only $165. So it comes with 12 oils, again, with so many uses. It comes with a diffuser, and again, allows you to get the 24% discount. It gives you access to the monthly auto ship, gives you access to the business opportunity if you want it, and it gives you access to our entire community, resources, education, support, everything, okay? If you don't want that one and you want one of the other kits, you want to hear your other options, just message me. I'd be happy to talk to you and, like, help you discover what's best for you. But that's my next step. If after or while also switching over your products, become a member so you can get all the perks and the resources and the discount. And I do want to mention, if any of you are signing up or wanting to sign up with a starter kit with my link, I'm going to send a little extra bottle of this oil called Endoflex. We're going to talk about it in a minute, but I will be sending this to anyone who joins, the next 5 people who join, and I'll show you the rest of my stuff in a minute, but just wanted to put that out there. For the first 5 people who get a premium starter kit this month, I will give you a bottle of Endoflex. So if you are already a member, so let's say you've become a member already, or you're going to become a member, the next thing to do after becoming a member and starting to switch over your products is start implementing 1 to 2 things at a time to support your hormones, okay? And to help bring balance to your hormones and heal your body, okay? My first recommendations are going to be Progestins Plus and Endoflex, okay? These 2 are the ones that I'm going to 100% recommend first. And then, you know, we'll talk about the other things that you can add in later. But Progestins Plus, I already talked about, super good for getting your progesterone and your estrogen levels back in balance. Endoflex is amazing for your thyroid. So again, your thyroid is responsible for your metabolism, and it just is really, really good for energy and helping your body function. A lot of people have thyroid issues and they don't even realize it. So Endoflex just supports your thyroid. I notice I have more energy. I notice that my body is just functioning a lot better when I'm on Endoflex. It really helps with mood and stuff too. So those are my number 2 recommendations to get started. After those, it's kind of based on your needs. And that's, again, where myself or someone on our team can really help you along that way to learn what's best for you. But my top recommendations for supporting all those other things we talked about, your pituitary gland, Omega Gize, that is Young Living's fish oil supplement. Super, super good for supporting your pituitary gland to help it function properly. For your thyroid, again, Endoflex, really amazing for your thyroid and helping that function properly. There's another one. If you know you have thyroid issues, Thyromin is a supplement Young Living has to help with thyroid issues. That's another one I would recommend. Your adrenal glands, right? So we talked about adrenaline and the cortisol levels. Your adrenal glands. Omega Gize, again, is another one that helps with that. Super B, that's a supplement Young Living has that I love so much. B vitamins are really good to support your adrenals. And again, energy, improved energy levels, improved mood levels with Super B. Super good. You can also use the supplement called Cortistop, especially if you're dealing with excess stress. If you are in a season where life is so stressful and hectic and you feel like your immune system's not functioning well, your, stress levels are super high. Maybe you're having just like digestive issues and stuff because of it. All of these things, those side effects of the high cortisol levels. Cortisol is a great supplement to take to kind of help relieve those problems that are happening because of high cortisol levels. It helps get your cortisol levels in check. All right. Again, estrogen, Progestins Plus, number one recommendation for that. Sclerescence is another oil Young Living has that I really recommend, and that can help bring your estrogen levels in balance. So those are my recommendations. That's what I tell everybody. I hope this little live was informational for you guys. Feel free to save it. Feel free to share it. This is for all you guys to share with your friends. But if you are, again, you're not a member, you're wanting to become a member, maybe this is like, okay, this is kicking my butt into gear, I'm ready. I wanted to show you my little welcome kit that I'm giving to anyone who joins with my link by the end of this month. So stick around if you want to find out. This cute little oil pouch. I love it. Joy Blossoms is our team name, if you didn't know. Again, we have a community of just tons of people who want to help you in this journey. You get a cute little oil bag. You can throw your stuff in there. It doesn't have to be oils, but whatever. Our Joy Blossoms branded, is that upside down? Joy Blossoms branded roller, which has our special Joy Blossoms blend in it. I already told you a bottle of Endoflex Vitality. And then this cute little book called The Oily Life Guide, and it really breaks down the premium starter kit, which again is what I recommended to you. It breaks down every oil in it and how you can use them. It talks about essential rewards and like the monthly auto ship and how, all you get all the perks from that. It gives you a bunch of recipes. So here is like different oil recommendations and supplement recommendations for different things. So energy, mind, respiratory system, stress, kids, skin, hormones, all the things in here, okay? It talks about Ninja Red, which is my fave, how to go chemical free. It talks about, different roller recipes from your starter kit, different DIYs. It gives you space to write your own recipes, which I really like. It talks about how to use them for kids and for babies, dilution ratios, just, all the different things, stuff about the business if you want to pursue that. And just like tons of stuff in here. So this is my little welcome gift to anyone who wants to join this month with my link. Just message me. I'd love to help walk you through the process. But thanks for joining tonight. I hope this was informative. I hope it helped you. And again, feel free to save and share with your friends. Thanks guys for joining. Bye.